Oh God, it's so exciting. Happy Hail Bob Day.
It is a happy Hail Bob day.
Hello. The Curse of Down.
It's the best finishing score we've seen at 5-star level.
That was our elo coming into the competition.
How much he talks about an FOD and how much it means.
Best show that we have, Alphabetti Spaghetti.
Eventing Manager is back. Let's restore order.
Looking forward to seeing quality horses.
Still a great day for Ireland.
Thank you very much for coming on the show.
I mean, you're a bit of an eventing geek just like us.
The Equa Ratings Eventing Podcast. Welcome to the Equa Ratings Eventing Podcast. Goodness me, that was high-pitched. What a day it has been. It has been cross-country day at Blenheim, but it started very, very early this morning, listeners, with the 8 and 9-year-old 4-star show jumping, and I have found a very special guest. We are sat waiting to go onto the after-hours show. We can see Alice and Chris rehearsing. Rosie Tapner, my co-commentator from today.
That was great.
It's good to have you on the show.
Oh, thank you for having me. You've had me. I feel sorry for you. You've had me twice today, but it was quite an experience being in the commentary box.
What did you think? So you came in. There's going to be a VT that goes out on our after-hours show tomorrow evening at the end of Blenheim. So if you are tuned in, if you haven't been tuned in, go and check it out because it's very funny. But we're going to see how you got on.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I thought it'd be a bit more glamorous. You're in a cupboard.
We're in a cupboard, like a black hole.
I mean, but smaller than a cupboard. It's hilarious.
It's very
great.
cosy.
It's very cosy.
And at one point today, William Fox-Pitt was our first guest, and he was so tall, and he sort of had to fold his entire frame into position. I felt so bad for him, but I was like, well, sorry, mate.
I felt really awkward when I was coming in because I was like trying to leap over you without being the irritating new person coming in. I was like, okay, now I'm sat down. Good.
Now you're in. What did you find of it, though?
I honestly loved every second of that. I didn't want to leave. You've just got the best view in the house. You've
literally
got
amazing.
TV screen, everything going on, all the action, best stars coming in to chat with you, and you just get to chat all day. I mean, it sounds like the perfect job.
It's
although
tiring,
but
tiring. You're making it sound really easy.
No, it's definitely.
No.
Can I just say, actually, you are the most talented person ever, and I'll say this because you won't ever say it, but it's quite a skill to be able to keep talking, even if there's not a huge amount of action going on, to be able to actually keep talking and make it different throughout the entire day.
That's very kind, because it is one of those things that I just love it. I'm really lucky. I absolutely love it. But it was a lot of fun to have you in. What have you made of Blenheim so far? We've seen you go behind the scenes. How have you found it?
I mean, I've been the luckiest person in the world this week. I've got to go and snoop round some of the top eventers' lorries, which I can't say who yet, but we have done Andrew Nicholson. And
I mean, how did you get into Andrew Nicholson's lorry?
Oh, just a bit of Boodle's jewellery and a flash of a smile and straight on in.
And then you went.
Paul Tapner's looking at us going, yeah,
inappropriate things.
Right.
There you go.
No, it's been amazing, and actually, you know, I've been given access to all areas, which is so special. I grew up in eventing, so to be able to come here and be amongst all the stars and be in the riders' lounge for the first rider going round, be in all of their lorries.
What was that like? Because it's always so nervous, that anticipation. I imagine it to be a little bit quiet.
Very quiet. So you can hear a pin drop in there. Absolutely silent. A lot of the riders have all their kit on. They're literally ready to go, and they just want to watch that first rider go through and see how it rides. Personally, for me, I don't think I'd want to watch. I think I'd be like, I'm just going to stick with my own plan and just do that and see what happens. But it's fascinating. Blenheim's been amazing, and cross country day, I mean, it's so special.
What did you make of the course? Because you've been out there on the ground, you've seen a lot of the riders coming back. What did you make of it?
I think it rode harder than people expected, actually. I think we had a few more problems than we were expecting. I don't know what your view is on it, and I think, you know, you were quite right that we wouldn't have too many inside at the time. I think we saw a few that we thought would go straight through, and a few pins coming down as well. So I think it actually kind of created a few more problems, but that was great because it changed the leaderboard a little bit as well.
Yeah, there's been plenty of movement. It's interesting because actually the general clear rate here is 59%, which globally at 4-star long level you would expect 60%, and here today it was 64%. So we're not a million miles away, but I would say it can be a bit deceiving because it's an enormous class, so you have 90 competitors. So there was one stage, I think it was fairly early on, that I think we had 10, 12, 15 horses that went round all with problems. And I think everybody was sort of sitting up, taking notice.
I don't know what David Evans probably left at that point going,
he
oh
was
my
probably
God.
Thinking, oh my goodness. And in fact, actually, David Evans is going to come in and talk to us on the opening show tomorrow before we go live for the cross country for the 8 and 9-year-olds class. So if you want to hear what he has to say, listeners, then tune in for that. It will be live on HNC Plus. It will go live probably about 10 to 11 for the first horse. What about, who was your highlight?
Oh, I mean, I have a few highlights. One of my highlights, and she's a friend of mine, Kylie Roddy, she absolutely flew round, and all of the fence judges were saying, you know, they were just, instead of just going, oh, clear through this, like, that was perfect through that, and this was amazing. And she sort of just led it, and she's a great rider, so I loved watching her. Harry Mead, another one, he's a cross-country machine, and everyone loves him. I just think the highlight for me is being here, being with the crowds, in the sun, feeling like normal.
Let me ask you about the crowds, because I was literally in my black cupboard, wasn't let out for basically the whole day. What was it like? Because I kept seeing these hordes and hordes and hordes of people.
Yeah, it was busy, and it just felt, and I know we keep saying it felt normal, it was great, but it was one of those days when COVID wasn't even a thought in your head. Nothing was, you didn't have to say, oh, it feels normal. It just was, and I think that was the best thing. So many happy, smiley people, a lot of happy, smiley dogs to be out again as well.
I saw some people that were happy and smiley and very sunburnt, that probably won't be so happy and smiley when they get home tonight.
I'm actually quite surprised that I'm not one of those sunburnt people, because I'm actually allergic to the sun, so the fact that I survived without getting any rashes, genius.
Amazing. What are you going to predict for tomorrow, because it is Yaz Ingham who leads overnight in the 4-star long format? Yeah. What do you think?
I really want her to win, and I do think she'll do it. I do. That's my prediction. I've actually spoken to her this evening, and her horse is a good jumper, and she doesn't want to jinx anything. But I just think she's got it, and I really hope. But also Piggy March as well in there as it's great, and I do hope Yaz takes it through.
It is girl power near the top of the leaderboard.
Do you know what? That's what I love about Equestrian more than anything.
Yeah,
male and female on it together all the way through, and actually we're seeing, I always say, same with racing and eventing and anything with Equestrian, as soon as that riding hat's on, you don't even know who's who.
No,
just
and it's lovely because they could be the world's most experienced. Andrew Nicholson was there today. Oliver Townend had the ride in Swallow Springs, who, by the way, listeners, looked incredible. He cantered round. He did not come out of third gear.
No.
And Oliver literally, his foot off the gas coming through the finish, and he still...
He could have probably fallen asleep and ridden that horse. Like, he just doesn't really... Maybe not quite to that. He just looked... beautiful.
He did. He made it look so straightforward. And I would say there was a moment at fence 4 at the corner combination, and Swallow Springs did something pretty similar with Andrew Nicholson at Barbary, where you just saw them go, nah, you're gonna, and he jumped it beautifully, but he is such a remarkable horse.
I was about to, and also a remarkable rider, because they know, and it's the partnership more than anything, isn't it? They know when their horse might duck out. They can just feel in their reins when something's going wrong, and they can correct it so quickly that the horse doesn't even have time.
And to get on a horse that you don't know very well, come around Blenheim, is a massive, massive skill.
I know. How many times has he sat on that horse?
I don't know. I think he has the horse, but he's literally done one competition.
It's unbelievable.
It's just incredible. The 8 and 9-year-old class, the show jumping was pretty tough when it was foggy this morning, and I literally was thinking, did they jump that fence? Did they have it down? I have no idea. I'm going to have to look at the scoreboard, because it was pea soup for a large portion of the 8 and 9-year-olds. But Ros Cantor is Lot DHI lead, and actually we last saw an 8-year-old winner of this 8 and 9-year-old class in 2016, Willa Newton and Kaya 20, and Willa has Cock-a-Doodle-Doo, who is well placed inside the top 10 here. I think you look out for them cross country. Horse can seriously jump.
Yeah.
But Ros is Lot DHI, 7 from 7 clear international show jumping rounds now, and Tom Jackson hot on her heels, HH Moonwalk. I would say there's a couple of more experienced 9-year-olds a little bit further down the leaderboard. It'll be very interesting to see how tight the time is. I was about to say,
how will that fare on the cross country? Because actually, I might be wrong in saying this, it's quite unusual to have in the long and the short, the 2 riders at the top started at the top, and they are still at the top, which actually you know, you probably don't see that often. Often things might go slightly wrong, or other people might jump ahead of them, and there's a bit of changes. To have both of them, long and the short, at Blenheim at the top into the final day, that's quite exciting.
It's very exciting, and there's always a little bit of movement. And the interesting thing is that the 8 and 9-year-old winner has never knocked a pole, and you could really see why, because there has been so much movement on the leaderboard. Any poles were really costly. The top few did pick up a couple of time penalties in the show jumping. We only had, I think, 8 clear rounds inside the time over Di Body's track, and that could prove interesting for tomorrow for the long format 4-star. But I just think the 8 and 9-year-old class is going to be very interesting. We've seen 5-star winners, Olympic champion come out of the class. Watch this space. Who wins tomorrow?
Stats girl.
You are stats girl. There we go. Anyway, we've got to go and get ready for after hours. We've got to go and do something.
Just sit there and look at Chris, and that's kind of what we do.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, just let him.
He tries to do, you know.
Crazy things. The bromance between Harry Mead and Chris Hughes is honestly one of my highlights of Blenheim.
Do you know what? Chris is such a little, like, a puppy dog. It's so sweet. He loves. I mean, it's amazing. It's great.
So cool. Anyway, listeners,
Sorry,
we hope that this is taking you behind the scenes. I've seen a few riders floating about, so I might go and see who I can attach a microphone to. But Rosie, thank you very much. Great job in the commentary box today.
Thank you.
It has been a pleasure, and I'm still very in awe of your Boodles jewellery.
Boodles, I know, and I hate the fact that I get to take them home because it terrifies me that I'm going to lose them. Awful. Anyway, thank you.
I would say it's amazing to see Boodles as a partner of Blenheim, and I could just totally see that Boodles Blenheim is absolutely could be a thing.
And I mean,
I'm just putting it out there.
Their name. Oodles of Boodles of jewellery. You know, Oodles of Boodles.
Just amazing.
Great, right?
Amazing. Anyway, look, listeners, we hope you've enjoyed this, and we will look forward to more of the same at Blenheim tomorrow. Thank you for listening to the Echo Ratings Eventing podcast.
Have a wonderful day, everybody, and I look forward to having you back with us soon.
Don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Instagram for more.
Listeners, we'll speak to you again soon.